My name is Belinda Wasser, also known as Rocket Girl. Today, we're going to talk about how to organize client information. When you're a virtual assistant, information is literally coming at you from all directions. Email, phone, sometimes I even get stuff in the actual snail mail. Clients are sending me business cards to input. So with information coming in from so many different places, it's critical to keep yourself organized. Today, we're going to talk about how to do that. When I am talking on the phone with a client, I am very careful to take very specific notes. The reason that I do that is because I might not do the work for days or even, a week, depending on what the project is and how long the duration of the project is. So I want to make sure that I'm capturing everything that I need. I use Evernote. Evernote is terrific for this. I use the free version. Here's how I have it organized. I have a notebook that's called RocketGirl Clients, and then each client has their own page in that notebook. I write the notes up at the top of each page, go through all of them with the client before I hang up to make sure that I'm on track. And then I type a line which separates one conversation from the next. And each time I add content to my note, it's always at the top, so it's always fresh. It's searchable, it's easy to use. I find that I type much faster than I write, and I can read my typing. I can't always read my writing. So I highly recommend when you're having a phone conversation to use a tool like Evernote to capture all the information. And I want to stress, I just said this, but I want to stress that before the phone conversation is over, I go through and I say to my client, let's just recap. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. You're doing A, B, and C. These are the dates. This is what I'm waiting for. This is what you're waiting for. Get crystal clear so that everybody's on the same page. Phone conversations, email inbox. I could, and I have spoken for over an hour on your email inbox and how to keep it clean and organized. Really critical. I try to have my email inbox have no more than 30 or 40 emails at a time. And every time it hits over 100, I know I am in big trouble. I'm going to forget something. Something's going to be left out. So it's important to go through your email inbox and keep it clean. Now, the only thing I keep in my inbox are actionable emails. So emails where I have to do something. If there's a sale or Amazon sending me something, I archive all of those. So the only things in my inbox are things I need to do. If a bunch of emails come in and I need to juggle the priority, I put each one of the clients' names on my calendar on the to-do layer and move them around so that I won't have to keep digging through my email inbox, because even at 40 emails in my inbox, I can still overlook things. Really critical to have systems in place to manage all of this information. Project management software is a terrific way to keep your client work organized as well. There were times in my career as a VA where I was doing lots of events or lots of email newsletters for one particular client. And so what I did was I set up a checklist for his particular newsletter, and I had all of the steps because I could be working on 2 or 3 of them at one time, and they would be in different stages, and I would want to know exactly where each one stood. So project management software is great for that. The other reason the project management software is great is because it's important to sit down and think about the whole project and all of the steps. So you tend to be more thorough in your thinking when you use that type of software. I've also used that for scheduling events like webinars, the pre-event, during the event, what do I need to be doing, and what am I thinking about after? So it's really a holistic approach. Lots of different softwares out there to use. Asana, Basecamp, Trello is a big favorite. Lots and lots of options, free and paid. So check those out if you are finding that you're making mistakes or you have big, piles of Post-its. This is a great way to get that all cleaned up. The last thing I'm going to talk about today when it comes to keeping client work organized is time blocking. Time blocking is how I spend my days. So for example, let's say I was going to work on social media for my client, Diane. I have 3 screens. So I would open Evernote up on my right screen, and I would have it there to see if there are any notes that I needed to reference or to make any notes of things I need to tell her during the time that I'm working on her work. Then on my left monitor, I would have my email sorted by everything from her in my inbox. So that way I can see everything she's expecting an answer to. And then typically I'm working on the middle monitor. So I start working for her, I jot down the time, I go through all of the emails, all of the notes, clear everything up, finish the work. Then what I would do is close down the browser tabs, right? So everything is back to how it was, send her an email or whatever I needed to do to let her know that I was finished, log my time, take a breath, and move on to the next client. So that way it doesn't seem like things are pulling at me all the time. I've got one client, and I kind of think of it as like hitting a tennis ball. I don't play tennis, but that's how I think about it. It's like hitting it over the net. Like, here you go. I did everything and it's all over there now. And then I can, clear my head and move on to another client. So having a system in place for organizing client work is really, really important. Even if you only have 1, 2, or 3 clients, it's very dangerous to keep that in our heads. So sit down and think about what kinds of systems work for you, how you like to work, and find some tools that are free or very affordable to support your business. Over time, my systems for this have changed dramatically. In the beginning, I used paper, and now I use my calendar and other systems. But be sure to notice when it's time to shift, when you've outgrown a tool or when your business just isn't feeling supported, or notice where the mistakes are being made and adjust your systems. Okay, so before we go, I want to tell you about my free online classroom, the Virtual Assistant Connection. We're over on Facebook, and you can find us by typing the Virtual Assistant Connection in the search bar. To click the join button, there's a couple of questions to answer, and I would love to welcome you into the group. There's about 13,000 members there. We represent over 147 countries. Very exciting. And there you will find tons and tons of training, community, friendship, and some fun. So come on over, join me. I'd love to have you. In the meantime, I'm Melinda Wasser, Rocket Girl, signing off. Bye-bye.